This program is proudly brought to you by Telecom Limited and Daytech.
As Papua New Guinea celebrates its 50th anniversary, we're excited to bring you a groundbreaking story that puts PNG on the global technology map. Tonight we are joined by the Pacific Artificial Intelligence Consortium Limited, the first and only AI and machine learning company fully established in Papua New Guinea. We'll learn about its homegrown initiative, which is building secure, ethical and locally relevant AI solutions in Tok Pisin, Hirimotu and English for health, education, finance, national security and many more. We are joined by Solomon Wesley Sua, Managing Director for Pacific AI. Solomon Wesley Sua, thank you for joining us again on In Focus.
Thank you, Malcolm, and thank you, MTV's In Focus program to have me back on the show. It's a pleasure to be back.
Now, firstly, Solomon, what is Pacific Artificial Intelligence Consortium Limited and why was it established?
Thank you, Malcolm. Pacific AI Consortium Limited is a company that we started, and the main reason why we started is artificial intelligence is a growing trend, and it's already affecting Papua New Guinea in all sectors. That includes government, industry and academia. So this company we started is to develop artificial intelligence specifically for a Papua New Guinea context. So it is a company that's focusing on AI and ML product solutions and technologies that is specific to Papua New Guinea and its challenges that it faces.
We are cognizant of the fact that there will be certain challenges that may emanate from the proliferation of artificial intelligence. Should we be concerned with the displacement of people from jobs as a result of artificial intelligence?
It's a very strategic question, because at the moment, not only in Papua New Guinea but across the world, people are thinking that artificial intelligence will displace jobs. There's two sides to that question. One is that it does displace certain jobs. The second part is it displaces the jobs and then it creates a new industries and new jobs that it compensates more than what it displaces. So if, let's say, IT officer may lose his job, like let's say a person who writes technical reports, because AI can do it. So then the compensation part is that then it gives more time for the IT officer to do more into IT than reporting. So it takes a burden off and then gives him or her a new opportunity, and then the result of it is that they will increase productivity and efficiency in the workplace.
Now, in terms of our education system, there is no doubt that AI is bound to have a significant influence on the education system in the country. How will this impact the ability of students to think independently and critically?
That is another critical question, and I must tell you, the AI is already implemented in schools. I completed my Master of Science in Cybersecurity from a university in the United States called the East Council University. And you would be surprised, but we were using AI in our studies. But what they tell is that you don't copy the exact whatever the response AI is giving you. But then, because you are an intelligent person, you have to have the capability and the capacity to compare that with what the AI is giving you. And then whatever the answer you are responding to that question, then you would have a benefit, because the AI is now giving you a whole lot of knowledge that you can expound on for you to respond. But it doesn't eliminate you from, like, you being caught in plagiarism. Then you can be terminated from your studies. So the university that I went, we had a very strong ethics on that they even have machines that they can detect if you're using artificial intelligence to copy paste your work. So on that side, the first part is AI is already in education system. In PNG, maybe we are getting towards that one. So what they need to do is that they have to look at the ethics and the morality. The school administrations, they have to come up with policies and frameworks that how they can handle this one. So they have to, like, for instance, they have to say that, look, you can use AI like ChatGPT or Microsoft's Copilot, but you don't copy and paste into your exams. And then the university or education systems must invest into things like technology that will detect if there's AI detection tools and plagiarism detection tools. So they have to go that. They cannot stop because this is something that is coming. So universities like Harvard, Oxford, all these are already into embracing AI. So they can learn from that and embrace this one. So it's something that is definitely, it will change the way the students and the teachers are delivering the course contents and syllabus in the school. So it's here to stay, and the challenge is now on the General Department of Education as well as the higher education to look at policies that would cater for this one.
Now back to your organization, which is the Pacific Artificial Intelligence Consortium Limited. How does it differ from your cybersecurity organization?
Most of the episodes that I came on as a president of the PNG Cybersecurity, Cyber Defense and Cyber Intelligence Association, or as a private company that I'm running, Cybersecurity PNG Limited. Most of the time I go to Post-Korea MTV defending our government and country on what cybersecurity is. This one is different from cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is like it's a totally different company, but in some ways they collaborate to do certain things. In the fight, I am like an ethical hacker. I do penetration testing and all that. So at the moment we're using tools that are manually tools that we're using, but there's already a capability that we have, is that we can get machine learning in AI into our work. So the difference is that cybersecurity is we are into cybersecurity, cyber defense, hacking into systems, defending systems. Pacific AI Consortium is a company that we want to focus purely on Papua New Guinean products. I'll give an example. Let's say we are trying to develop language models. At the moment, language model is like a system or a database. There's a system there that AI must understand. Imagine like if where I come from, the way talk pidgin may be different from Highlands, probably Agen may be different from Enga, for instance, or the way talk pidgin is spoken by, let's say, Tolais would be different from us. So the challenge, or what we are offering now, is that we want a language model that must understand these different variants of talk pidgin. So if they ask something, then it must not confuse the way one Wabek or Enga province citizen there would speak than someone from East or West New Britain, or someone from, let's say, Western Islands. So how can AI understand these language models? At the moment, the models that we're using, they cannot understand our talk pidgin. So if they feed in a voice in like spoken by, let's say, someone from Hagen or Henga, the AI model might be confused. The AI model cannot understand. So that's the challenge that we took on, that Pacific AI. We want to do that. We want to come up with language models that even in talk pidgin and Irimotu, that AI must understand and respond.
Thank you, Solomon. We now go for a quick break. Join us on the other side for more discussions. Welcome back. You're watching In Focus. Now, Solomon, what are some real AI solutions PAICL is building?
We're building a couple of products already, and one of them is the one that I briefly touched on earlier. That is on the language model that respond to queries or questions that are being fed into the AI model in talk pidgin and Irimotu. And there's a Polish Motu and there's a Irimotu, as well as in talk pidgin we have different regions that speak the same talk pidgin, but then probably there's a slight difference in the way we speak, or the audio tone. So that is one of the products that we are developing, and we believe that once that is out, what it will do is that when we put in talk pidgin queries, it doesn't matter if it's from a Tolai descent or from a Highlands or from the coastal, then AI model will understand. And then that will also link into the health sector as well, because there's a chatbot that we are developing. What it will do is that whenever a mother or so from any of these regions in PNG, when he asks chatbot about the sickness that is in your system, then what the AI would do is that it would respond to the talk pidgin, and then it would give. And so down the line, we may develop some model specific to its languages in the country that we have, but that would be challenging. But we might work with like translation authorities or associations. There's a possibility in there. But this one that we're developing is that at least we want to make sure that this model understands the Irimotu and Tokpesin, and then it responds to that. So that will be also helpful for doctors as well as generic searches. Like at the moment they're using one model called ChatGPT. That is American model, and that might not understand a lot of PNG. Sometimes you put in a Tokpesin, it can respond, but not to very specific. But then again, it comes to our ethics as well. So some words, some cultures are sensitive to what. So these are some probably specific products that we are developing. So as and when that is available, probably in the next segment we might update our audience. But that is one interesting product that 50 years on, and we believe that we should get into this kind of domain and start developing tools and apps for ourselves.
Now, Solomon, how can AI assist Papua New Guinea overcome some of our development challenges? For example, it's recently being used to speed up visa processing at the Immigration and Citizenship Services Authority. It has improved the appointment and selection of heads of government departments as well.
AI is a very efficient tool to, especially in the recruitment and even processing of visa problem, because there's a path where they do like vetting, or there's a due diligence, or you want to find out who is the person that is applying. So let's say the first, your question is two parts. The first one is the processing part. What it does is that if I put in my application to the ICSA, what they do is that they find out who is Solomon Wesley Sua. So when they feed it into AI will then look for who is Solomon Wesley Sua. So the only thing, it will go in and find out that, in Post-Korea there might be a report that Solomon Wesley Sua is doing something on cybersecurity, or in MTV's In Focus. So that is where it's looking for now. And then it tries to match those details with what I put on my application paper. And then when that matches, then it says that this is authentic, this is Solomon Wesley Sua, the same guy that is running cybersecurity PNG, or the same guy running Pacific AI Consortium. So then it matches with the application. So what it does is that now AI is now looking into that whole screening process, and then it find out where the information is coming from, and then that should cut down on a lot of this vetting and let's say due diligence or whatever the process they're going. It can cut down because AI can quickly look for the information that manually someone wants to search for it. It might take him weeks or months. Or with AI, within seconds, they collect information from Facebook, from LinkedIn, from any other social media or any other professional network services or any other thing that we put up. It will pull in and then try and quickly do that. Because let's say in LinkedIn, we have our education, we have our certifications, papers, all this. So once LinkedIn looks in, it walks in there. So then it quickly processes that. So that's how efficient that can be. On the second part of the recruitment side, as I said, AI can now look into job sites like in PNG. We have two popular ones. The one is Seek PNG, and then I think the other one is a Workplace or something. That two places there we put all our CVs, all that. So now the recruitment process, now it looks into those databases of where the people are, and then it pulls out information. And then it looks out, so any crime records, any all that. Now with police system coming on board and all that, now with the Department of ICT trying to come up with the all of government platform and solution, now this will be very simple, because AI will now quickly go into that government system, looks for all the information and say that this person is this one, this is served in this capacity, all that. So then it will do the grading and the scoring and all that. So whoever comes with the highest score gets the job. So then it eliminates on any other nepotism or any other factors that influence. If we totally go with AI and technology, then it cuts down all that, and you get the person based on the merit. So AI can is the tool for that one. Yeah.
Now, on the lob side, we've seen the proliferation of artificial intelligence, especially the proliferation of deepfake imagery. Does PNG have adequate mechanisms in place to mitigate such risks?
Thank you, Malcolm. That is another challenge that we at Pacific AI Consortium, we say that a lot of these technologies, like one you pointed out, deep fake, what it does is that it gets a face of someone, gets his voice, and then try and mimic the person and say something. So Prime Minister they might take the, let's say, the face of the Prime Minister and the voice, and then they might put up a video by the, let's say, by the opposition, that Prime Minister comes out and says that I'm resigning in the next 24 hours. That can be done, and that's already being done. So the challenge that in PNG we now have is that we don't have the mechanism to detect this. So then it calls for legislation now, that we have the Diesel Government Act probably 2 years back, but there is, many times I come on the show here and I say that's generic. Now that with this one, we need to, the government now is going into have the one legislation specifically for cybersecurity, another one specifically for artificial intelligence, machine learning. So when these kind of things come on, then what do we do? So with Pacific AI, what we're doing is that we are now building in our systems that it should detect the origin of those videos and where it comes from. So these are some of the challenges that we saw Papua New Guinea is having. So with Pacific AI, we want to, do kind of reverse engineering to find out where does that come from and who is behind that and all that. At the moment, the government, that's not only our challenge. You saw in the, I think I saw one article, probably in the last state of origin, I think that one player was coming out to the car park, and so in his vehicle there was him and a lady, and you know, that was also AI generated. So these challenges are not only to PNG. Australia is facing the same challenges. Globally, these challenges are there. So what the governments are doing is that now they're going into investing more into capacity building and infrastructures that they can detect those things. So the challenge is there, and at the moment we may not have a tool, but with Pacific AI, and that's one of the challenges that we want to take on board and find out and how we can combat threats that are looming from technologies like Deepfake, which is also AI in there, so AI, ML, Deepfake, other technologies that are threatening our culturally sensitive society like Papua New Guinea. And that's where we have to, our challenge is to come up with solutions that are also culturally sensitive that can go after and then combat the issues that are facing us. So these are some challenges we have, tools and technologies we may not have, because they are generally built and they are not specifically built for a country like us. So that's where our own experts and our own engineers, we have to do so. That's why Pacific AI Consortium is emerged on the 50th anniversary of this country, and one of the reasons is that we want to make sure that we give a better alternative to the country in combating crimes and threats that are coming from technology generated like deep fake.
Thank you, Solomon. We now go for a quick break. Join us on the other side for more discussions. Welcome back. You're watching In Focus. Now, Solomon, how will Pacific AI elevate PNG's voice on the global AI stage?
Thank you. At the moment, yes, correctly pointing out, at the moment we don't have a standing in the global scale on AI, meaning that we don't have a specific AI products that are developed by our very own AI engineers, AI prompt engineers. There's a term that I'm using, prompt engineers, but at the moment you have to put in the right prompt to get the right response. So we don't have those things, so at the moment we don't have a standing. But what Pacific AI is doing is that we want to bring in together all the experts in the industry in PNG, and there are people that are already doing a bit of AI, a bit of ML here and there, but we want to make sure that they come into like a consortium, like a group that we can put our voice together. How do we put our voice together is that we develop our specific language models, specific AI models that Papua New Guinea will understand. So like if we have a talk Pisin model, then probably Solomon Islanders won't, because the Solomon Island talk Pisin there's a mixture of English and there's a mixture of talk Pisin there, so ours is unique. So that's the kind of, so when we develop ours, then I believe that our models can be then customized to like the Solomon Island model, because Solomon Island then it's like a mixture of talk Pisin and English to understand this. So with Pacific AI, we believe that what we're doing is that we will definitely bring together, because the challenges we have, like doctors, we have 12 or 10 million people and we only have 600 doctors. We cannot, so how can we leverage the 600 doctors' expertise? So with our language models, with let's say the chat bots for the English, sort of for the health sector, then the doctor, that we can maximize the 600 doctors' expertise now, because they can respond to queries. So we have the 600 queries come in and then they respond to that. But there's also of what they're doing, there's also a commercial component of it. So our doctors, our health chatbot, we are looking at getting the consent from the doctors, our 600 doctors, and then we give them like check how the working schedules are, and then if they consent to join us, they can come on board. And then whenever a mother from, let's say, one of the Papuan villages asking Irimotu, then AI must understand that and translate that to Tokpisin or Irimotu. If the doctor specialist in that area is not a, let's say, Irimotu speaker, then the AI model must translate that to a Tokpisin or English so the doctor can understand. Or if it's a expatriate doctor we have, then there's so. What we're trying to do is that when we bring these things together, then we should have a standing, and we should have a what in the global what. So at the moment we don't have, so that's one of the reasons that we come into existence on the 50th anniversary year, and we believe that what we do should propel us to where we should be in a global standing.
Now, as you mentioned, capacity is a major challenge. What's being done to grow our local AI workforce?
That challenge is there. Like companies like my company, Cyber Pacific AI, may come in and recruit one or two, but the challenge now is that it has to go back to our education sector. That is both on the general education and the higher education. So now the curriculums that we're developing, AI must be taught at schools, or AI must be taught at the university. So the challenge is that how do we mass produce, let's say, AI experts? One of the ways that the government has to come up with specific, let's say, syllabus or curriculums for primary school, high school, then to secondary, and then to tertiary institutions. They must also offer courses like AI, ML, cybersecurity, all of that they can offer as some of those core subjects. So that way we, in the next, let's say, 12 or 13 years, then we produce AI experts. That's in the long run. In the short term, probably one of the places that we are a member of what we call a PNG ICT cluster. So in that cluster, they are running programs as well to see the short-term need. How do we fill those gaps in, let's say, cybersecurity, AI, ML? There is something going on at the moment with the University of Technology with the digital ICT cluster. So how do we fill the short-term, the gap that we get in experts from, let's say, AI, ML, or cybersecurity? So that's one we can do in the shorter term. But in the long run, we have to have collaborative approaches with the Department of Education. So students coming in, they should be taught AI and ML at that level. Those days that we normally study for grasshopper, pads, and frogs and all this should be done away with. Now that we are going into this, students might be taught in cybersecurity and AI, ML, or other, we normally say, imaging technologies.
Solomon Wesley Sua, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Malcolm. Thank you, MTV. It's an In Focus program, and looking forward to joining on our next segment. Thank you.
Well, viewers, that ends this episode of In Focus. Do join us again next week, Monday, on our regular time slot of 7 p.m. Till then, bye for now.
This program was proudly brought to you by Telecom Limited and Daytech.